Welcome back to Realistic Fishing. As you know, this is kind of my off season, and if I can't be doing the thing I love, fishing, well, I'm going to do the next best thing, and that's buy fishing lures. With a realistic budget, I headed over to Walmart. Let's see what I picked up for 10 bucks. There are a lot of things to like about fishing, besides just catching the fish. I really appreciate lures, especially budget lures and stuff I find on sale. And there's a reason for that. It takes me back to when I was young, and I would be at the store and looking at all the fishing stuff, all the stuff I couldn't afford. And yeah, it was cheap department store stuff, but I just kind of dreamed of the day I would be able to try it all. Now that I'm a little older, I have a few more dollars. I still like to buy stuff from Walmart, sporting goods stores, flea markets. Let's see what I picked up just for the hell of it. First we have Cream, the king of baits, True Lure, weedless frog. It has those kind of little googly eyes that you used to get on cheap little toys and stickers from the 80s. It's like a clear dome with a tiny little round ball in there. I don't know if you can see it, but those eyes always make me laugh inside. Let's crack this open and see what it looks like. Well, I sure did a number on the packaging, but here it is. The frog looks pretty good, but I don't know that I like the hook going down out the bottom of the belly, especially if you're going to be casting this like into cover. So I think I'm going to make a quick modification on this and hook it a little differently. There we go. So now it is above the rear leg, sort of out the side, sort of out the top. See what I did there? So now when I cast it out, hopefully the legs, even if it lands upside down, it's not straight down pointing into the weeds and everything I don't want to snag. So I think coming out the side is going to be a better angle on this for sure, as far as trying to keep it weedless. Pretty cool bait here. It also has some knot tying tips and other information here on the back. $1.50. It's not the highest quality frog, but I've seen it at Walmart almost every time I go. I just had to pick it up since it was on sale. Let's see what else we got. We also have a Strike King Bitsy Bug mini jig. I have used this before. I've caught bass on this. It's a good little jig. Let's look at some of these bullet points. Snagless, weedless head design. Inverted line tie, keeps the line from being frayed on rocks. Premium silicone skirt, and a fiber weed guard. For the Bitsy Bug, I paid $1.50. Not too bad for a little Strike King jig. Let's see what else I got. Here I have a Cream pre-rigged, ready for action Scoundrel worm. This kind of worm definitely takes me back to when I was young, and I would see this style of worm in almost every tackle box I looked in. It would be pre-rigged with a couple of hooks, and up on the leader line it would have this little prop and a few beads. I never had the pleasure of catching a bass on this, but I'm going to try it out this year for sure. Going to need some light tackle, little panfish rod or something like that to cast this little worm. This worm cost me 75 cents. According to the receipt, I have another one in here. There it is. So I got 2 of these cream Scoundrel worms, 75 cents each. When I look at each of these lures, I think about things like, who designed that? How long has that particular variety of worm been on the market? I know this company Cream has been around for a long time. So I kind of see each lure as a work of art. I like to look at it a little bit before I fish it, you know, to develop a little bit of a appreciation for it. Let's see what else I got. Here we have a Strike King Bitsy Minnow 1/8 ounce crankbait. Great for panfish, trout, crappie, and bass. 1/8 ounce is really small for a crankbait. Gonna need that panfish rod once again, something like 4 or 6 pound test to cast something this small. On the back it has some tips on how to tune your crankbait. It's got the little diagram there. Interesting little bait. I don't catch too many panfish on lures like this, but I'll have to give it a try. I paid $1. $1 for a Strike King crankbait. Granted, it's tiny, but still, $1? I couldn't pass that up. Good looking lure there. Let's see if I got anything else. Got another Booyah Bass Jig, 1/4 ounce. I really like the design of the Booyah jig. The head is round, it is slightly turned up. It comes through cover relatively well. It stays fairly weedless as long as you're careful with it. It's got a nice brush guard on it. On the back it has a little message to me. Valued customer, thank you for choosing the Booyah jig. Our jigs have been used to win both Bassmaster Classic and the Redman All-American. Tooting their own horn a little bit. It's a pretty interesting lure though. For this I paid $1. So at Walmart I got a jig, a decent Booyah jig, for $1. Alright, let's see what else I got. Here we have the Rattlin' Pro Model Jig from Strike King. This is 1/2 ounce. What I like about this jig, it's not a football head, it's not an Booyah jig, it's not a ball head. It has a unique design. When I picked it up and looked at it, it kind of looks like a pear maybe. It's kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe even almost like a teardrop shape. I'm not really familiar with that shape of jig head, so I thought I'd give it a try. On the back of the box here it has some tips. Fishing muddy water, use black and chartreuse, red or blue. For stained water, use black or black and blue. And for clear water, use natural colors like green and brown. Good looking lure here, Strike King jig. For this I paid $2. This is probably the most expensive lure in the whole bag at $2. Looks like I got one more item here, and this is a Booyah Bait Company Booyah Baby Boo Jig, 5/16 ounce. So it's about 1/3 of an ounce. Little finesse jig here, similar to the Bitsy bug. This one is in a brown and black kind of color. It says here it's made with a Mustad Ultra Point hook. It has a 60 strand skirt and a soft plastic keeper. I like my brush guards to be a little bit softer so I can get that penetration when I need to hook the fish. Sometimes a really tough, solid, stiff weed guard makes it a little hard to hook the fish, and I end up cutting some of those bristles out of there. For the baby boo jig, I paid $1.50. It was on sale, but it wasn't on mega clearance sale. But $1.50 for a little jig like this, that's pretty good. So let's do a quick little recap of everything I got for 10 bucks. I got the weedless frog from Cream. I see this every time I'm at Walmart. I'm glad I finally got one. I got 4 jigs here. I got the big 1/2 ounce Pro jig from Strike King. I got the Booyah Baby Boo finesse jig. I got the Strike King Bitsy Bug finesse jig. And an Arky Bass Jig 1/4 ounce. All good deals. I also got 2 of these worms that take me way back to the 80s and 90s. That pre-rigged worm with the little silver prop on there. Gotta try it this year. It'll be like fishing in 1988 all over again. And finally, the Bitsy Minnow. Probably the best deal here. I got this for $1. You can't say there aren't good deals out there. I got all these lures for 10 bucks. I think it'll be fun to experiment with these when the fish start biting again. And I'm always happy to get new lures, even if I'm just looking at them. Thanks for watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.